Hello, hello, hello. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you may be. Welcome back to my channel, My Loverlies. If you've never been here before, thank you so much for clicking on my video. I am so happy you found me. I do so hope that you will like and subscribe before you leave. Become part of the Mama family. Mama's got your back, at least where makeup's concerned, and definitely when that makeup is cheap. Today is New Makeup Monday. We are talking all about what is new at Moira Cosmetics. If you guys have ever been here before, you will have heard me talk about Moira Cosmetics. It's one of my very, very favorite brands in the world. They're an independently owned brand. They're incredibly affordable and their quality is insane. Before we get started, a very special, very warm welcome to any of those that are new to my channel. I am so incredibly happy that you are here. If you enjoy the content, I do so hope you will mash that thumbs up button. I hope that you will subscribe if you have not already. And I hope that you will ring my bell, turn on your notifications, so that way, next time I upload a video, you can come right back here and we can hang out together again. Also, my makeup is already done. I used the Profusion Kaleidoscope palette for today's eye look. I did make sure to film a TikTok on today's makeup if you are interested. I'll make sure to have the tags for that, as well as all of my other socials, Facebook, Instagram, all that good stuff listed in the description box below, along with a full product list of everything we're going to talk about in today's video. If you are not following me on all my other socials, you definitely should go do that. I post fun content every single day. And if you're following me everywhere, you don't have to worry about missing a single moment of it. With all of that out of the way, let's dive in to the new goodness at Moira Cosmetics. Now, a lot of Moira's most recent releases have been very glimmer, shimmer, shifty forward. Very glitter focused. Everything just twinkles in the light and it's just, ooh, it's so very pretty. I am a little bit disappointed with some of this stuff, but some of it's kind of awesome. I do think that there are pros and cons to just about everything, so we're just going to go ahead and dive into it. I went ahead and I bit the bullet and I bought at least one or two of everything so that I could really test them out and really get a good feel for what's good and what's not. If you're anything like me, you've been incredibly intrigued about what, they've come out with so many new launches recently. And I was just been like, oh, it's almost like I need it overload. So I figured I would bite the bullet, spend my money so you don't have to. How many YouTubers really say that? But I figured it was just an excuse for me to go out and buy a whole bunch of makeup. So that's what I did. The first thing I want to talk about are these little pigments right here. So these are the Starstruck Chrome Loose Powders. These are their newest release, I believe. Basically what these are loose, very fine, loose, very reflective glitters. They're beautiful. They are so incredibly stunning. They're very multi-use as well. You can use them as highlight. You can use them as eye toppers. You can use them just about anywhere. They are eye safe. You can put them anywhere you want to. They're stunning. Now, this is the shade Pink Era. I will say these are incredibly tiny. These go for $6 a jar. They're very small, and you know, a little bit of this is going to go a fairly long way if you're just looking for a little bit of glimmer and sparkle. But if you really want an opaque lay down of, you know, glimmer and shine, you're going to have to really pack it on and you're going to use quite a bit of product. Also, when it comes to these, the packaging is freaking horrendous. It is awful. Guys, I opened these once. I used them and it was like a glitter bomb, exploded everywhere. I don't know what happened, but once you get the product out, you can't get it back in. And because I don't even want to open it because I know it's going to explode everywhere. But the minute you open it, the glitter, because there's just a hole in there's just a hole in the top. So the glitter just gets absolutely everywhere and it is a mess. Heaven forbid you turn this upside down or drop it. The glitter is going to get everywhere. I want to show you because I accidentally dropped. This is the shade Pink Era, but I also ordered the shade Galaxy Glimmer. This one is my very, very favorite. I used this one and I accidentally dropped it while I was putting it away. And you see how much of my product is gone. It's because it was like a literal glitter bomb. It just exploded in my office. That out of the way, the packaging is absolutely horrendous. I really, really don't like it. I really wish they had chosen literally any other way to package this, because this was not the answer. However, that out of the way, they're freaking beautiful. Now, I swatched both of these on the back of my hand. I did use a glitter glue to swatch them on because it is just a straight, very fine, loose glitter. So you're definitely going to need something sticky to adhere to the skin, especially if you want it to stick around. I find that initially they stick pretty well to the skin, but they don't like hang on very well. So throughout the day, you're going to experience some serious fallout if you don't use some kind of glitter glue, whether it be the NYX glitter glue or the hard candy glitter stay, something sticky to really adhere it to the skin, or else it's just going to fall off throughout the day. Now, I do have two different shades swatched on my hand. So this shade is Galaxy Glimmer and this shade is Pink Era. So the top shade is this one right here, and then the bottom one is this one right here. And as you can see, they look pretty much identical. They look pretty much identical in real life as well. However, Pink Era has a little bit more of a pink base, and the Galaxy Glimmer has a little bit more of like a translucent kind of clear base. So they're very, very similar. And I find that a lot of the shades have that same kind of quality. They're just more of a very shifty, very fine, loose glitter. I find that a lot of them don't really have a ton of base pigment to them. It's just glitter and shimmer. Now, for $6, I think it's really, really nice. It's a beautiful, beautiful product. The packaging is just really, really awful. So you have to be so, so careful with it. However, if you enjoy a really beautiful, like, just look at that. Like, I opened it earlier, so it's literally all over my desk. It's all over my desk. But if you enjoy something that's just super fine and glittery and sparkly, I do think these are definitely going to be for you. It is a beautiful, beautiful pigment. The packaging is just atrocious. I do find that these look so beautiful, just tapped onto the lips as well. They give such a gorgeous frosty glow. They work beautifully as highlighters as well because the glitter is so fine. It gives more of this twinkle effect rather than chunky craft glitter. They're so beautiful. I don't have anything else quite like this in my collection. I've never experienced anything else quite like this. It's very shifty. It's very shiny. It is incredibly reflective. They're beautiful, but it is more of just a topper kind of thing. Like it's not going to go on, and it's not going to give you some big giant impact on the lid. Like if you were trying to use a glitter glue and really pack this onto the lid, you're going to get a bunch of shine, but not so much a bunch of color. So just be aware of that when you're purchasing them. But y'all, so, so beautiful. And at $6 a piece, I think that's a pretty fair price as long as you don't lose half your product. Next up, one of their, I think this might be the very newest release. These are the Chroma Light Shadows. I was very, very interested when they leaked these, or when they revealed these, because I love a good topper. I love a good super reflective, shimmery, shiny, shifty kind of thing. These sounded so, so beautiful. I picked these up in two different shades. This is the packaging that it arrives in. These are the Chroma Light Shadows. They come in this really gorgeous holographic packaging. Super, super pretty. They are much, much smaller than I was expecting them to be. So the Chroma Light single eyeshadows are $6 a piece, and that is exactly what they are, is single eyeshadows. Now, I wasn't really sure what to expect when these arrived or when I ordered them. But y'all, they're really nice. Packaging is super nice. It feels nice. Like Moira always brings it with the packaging. It's not super luxe or extraordinary, but it is very nice, higher end drugstore packaging. It doesn't feel cheap in the slightest. So I really, really appreciate that about them. Guys, this is the shade Opal Glazed, and Lord have mercy. And again, this is more of a topper situation. I think there is a little bit of a theme running through their most recent releases. And everything is supposed to be just a wash of sparkle, just a wash of reflective, glittery goodness. Nothing has a ton of pigment. Nothing has like a real solid base to it. It's all more so toppers than anything else. So this is the shade Opal Glazed, and this one shifts from pink to green as well. It's that same green to pink shift to it. That's what it looks like swatched on the back of the hand. Again, it is a very translucent base with some glimmer and some shimmer in it. It is really, really beautiful. This is going to look gorgeous tapped over just about anything. Again, this is very versatile. You could use this as a highlight. You could use it as an eyeshadow topper. You can tap it all over your lips if you want to. It's just really, really beautiful. I have so much shimmer and shine going on already on my eyes. I have just about all of this on my eyes today. This is beautiful. I do think that the shade Opal Glazed is my favorite, but I also picked up the shade Aquamarine, and this one, it stole my heart. It looked so, so beautiful. This one does have a tiny bit more pigment to it, but it still is very, very sheer. So that's what it looks like. And then swatched, that's what it looks like. You guys can see they look almost identical on the back of my hand. The Aquamarine has just a slight, just a little bit more of that blue pigment in there, but for the most part, it is still a very sheer kind of topper situation. Now it is slightly kind of buildable. You're not going to be able to build it up to some big opaque, like high impact kind of shadow. It is a topper. It is a wash of sparkle and shine. That is what it was formulated to be, and that is what it does. If you are looking for something like that, I think this is a fantastic way to go. I like that it's pressed. It's not quite as messy. Y'all, I feel like I'm going to be washing glitter off my desk for weeks to come. I'm telling you, those loose pigments literally exploded all over me. But these, less messy, really beautiful. These come in a ton of different shades as well. So I feel like if you were interested in the pigments but don't want to deal with the mess, this is definitely a better way to go because they're almost identical. Like if you put the swatches next to each other, you're definitely getting more, bang for your buck with the loose pigment. But that's because you're really packing a ton of product on at a time. However, if you're just looking for that really gorgeous wash of subtle like sparkle and shine, these are going to do it for you. Also, you can build it up. So you can really get this to look like this if you just continue to layer it up. Also, let's see if I put this over a glitter glue, if it looks the same. Oh yes. So I put a little bit of glitter glue down and then swatched the Aquamarine on top of it, and the payoff is almost identical. It's still super reflective, very high shine. You're getting that really gorgeous, like switchy, shifty kind of vibe from it as well. Yeah, super, super pretty. So definitely recommend, because this is a much drier kind of formula. There's not a high moisture content to these single shadows at all. So definitely recommend a glitter glue if you really want a more opaque laydown of pigmentation. But y'all, I'm going to go ahead and say go for the pressed ones. The loose glitters are so beautiful. They're absolutely stunning, but they are a mess. That packaging is absolutely horrendous, and I really did not enjoy working with it at all. But you can get the same effect with these pressed ones. They're the same price, and they're a lot less mess and a lot less effort. So again, these are the Chroma Light shadows, and this one is in the shade Aquamarine. Like, you cannot tell me that swatch isn't absolutely phenomenal. So, so beautiful. They've really been focusing on the single shadows here recently. Now, this is a little bit of an older launch from them. These are the Lucent Cream eyeshadows. Y'all, I've been so interested in these for the very, very longest time. However, I didn't pull the trigger because I don't work with cream eyeshadow very often. Also, I don't reach for single shadows very often unless it's for like a shifty shade or like a topper shade, something like that. So I didn't want to spend the money on something I wasn't necessarily going to use. However, as I was placing the order, I figured I would go ahead and pick up a few and test them out. This is in the shade 21 Regal. Not exactly sure how to pronounce that, but it is this absolutely stunning, super bright pinky purple kind of fuchsia shade. Y'all, these are beautiful. Super, super creamy, very high moisture content. These remind me very much of the ColourPop Super Shock shadows. Now at $7.50, that swatch looks kind of fantastic. However, swatching and application are very, very different. I wanted to like these so much. They just don't apply well to the eye at all. Now, when you use a finger, of course, it's fantastic, but it just doesn't pick up well with a brush at all. Now, I tried to apply this with both synthetic brushes and natural bristles. It didn't pick up well. It didn't apply well. It applied patchy and streaky. And as beautiful as it looks in a swatch, it just doesn't apply to the eye the same way unless you use your finger. You guys know I always have my nails done. I gouged it. Can you guys see? I gouged it trying to get my finger in there. And that really, really bothers me. I don't want to have to use my fingers to apply an eyeshadow. If I have to do that, it's just not the eyeshadow for me, because then I run the risk of absolutely destroying it. And y'all, this thing was almost $8 for this teeny tiny little thing of eyeshadow. And that really, really upsets me. So if you are a finger application kind of girly, you're probably going to love these. The pigmentation is there. They're very, very beautiful. But if you definitely prefer applying your eyeshadow with a brush, this is not going to be for you. I also picked up this shade. This shade was like my absolute everything. This is the shade Aurora, again in the Lucent Cream Shadows. And baby, when I tell you this is so incredibly beautiful, I was so excited to play with this. Y'all, the color is everything you want it to be and more. Incredibly beautiful. However, I find that this one is definitely more, it's not quite as opaque. It's not as pigmented as the purple one. It definitely is more reflective. It's got more of that metallic finish to it, but it's much more sheer. So I find that overall, the quality just isn't uniform. I find that some colors are better than others. While this one applies better with a brush than the green one does, trying to apply the green one with a brush was absolutely horrific. I did an eye look, I want to say a couple of days ago, where I tried to use this one, and y'all, I just could not get it to go onto my eye and actually lay down any kind of pigmentation. Like, you can see it's there, but barely, and I had to dip back into that pan time and time and time again, and still I would add it and then it would just fade almost instantly. And for a cream shadow, it shouldn't do that. And at $7.50, these are pretty expensive for what they are, so I'm going to go ahead and say that though these are really beautiful, they're going to be a pass for me. Next up, I picked up, y'all, these Dreamlight highlighters. First of all, can we talk about the packaging? Absolutely beautiful. I love this packaging. It is so pretty. It's kind of like thick. It almost feels like acrylic or enamel. It's just got that kind of feel to it. Very, very pretty. Love the packaging. It's got a great closure to it. Open it up, and this is your highlight. Now, these aren't too expensive. These go for $8.50 a piece, which is not bad. You get a fair amount of product in here as well. I got the shade Ballerina. It is a really gorgeous pink shade. I freaking love this stuff. It is absolutely stunning. There's nothing bad I can say about this stuff. It just goes on. It looks so pretty on the skin. Let's do just a little bit right here. They're very, very buildable, so you can start off slow and get that really gorgeous kind of like lit from within look, but then you can really build it up and really get that beaming kind of highlight. I love this tone. It's super, super pretty. It's a very beautiful, very light pink tone. Looks so pretty on my skin tone. Yeah, I love these. These are gorgeous. Do I think that they're incredibly spectacular or anything super, super special? No, not really, but it's a really, really good highlight. So if you've been eyeing them and wanting to try them out, I don't think you'd be disappointed with this at all. Comes in a ton of different shades. I, of course, had to get the pink one, but all of them look really, really beautiful. They've got a highlight for every skin tone imaginable. Yeah, these are beautiful, so this is a win for me all day long. I picked up 2 more shades of the Star Show eyeshadow pots. Guys, these things are quite possibly my very favorite single eyeshadows that Moira sells. They're truly spectacular, incredibly pigmented, foiled, creamy, gorgeous. They're just absolutely lovely. I picked up 2 more shades. I picked up the shades, it's a Vibe, and this one is just a really gorgeous, like greeny olive gold. Y'all, this is just absolutely, oh, it's so pretty. The camera is not doing it justice at all. It is a super vibrant gold with like a green shift to it, y'all, and the pigmentation on these is absolutely freaking insane. They're so high shine, foiled metallic pigmented goodness, super yummy. So that's the shade. It's a Vibe. And then I also picked up the shade OMG, and y'all, this one is a duochrome, and again, this one has got that pinky green gold thing going on. So incredibly beautiful. Really difficult to get my finger in there at the moment, but y'all, and again, the camera just is not doing it justice at all whatsoever. These are by far and away my favorite Moira single products. They're so beautiful. There's no comparing these to anything else. They're so much better than any Super Shock shadow I have ever tried. They don't crease on the lids. They don't fade throughout the day. They're just beautiful. Like truly spectacular products. I will not quit until I have every shade in this range. Now, they are just a little bit pricey. They're $7.50 a piece. Y'all, I think they're worth every single penny of that price point. They're so good. A little bit will go the very longest way. These are going to last you for absolutely forever. They're so worth it. Probably my favorite thing in today's video. Now, that was it for the powder products. Now we have some liquid shadows to talk about. So they came out with these Space Chameleon Multichrome Liquid Eyeshadows, and these were the things that I was the most excited to play with. I was super stoked. The swatches of these on the website look incredible. They look so shifty, and like liquid multichromes are really like a good one is very difficult to come by, especially at an affordable price point. Now, these Space Chameleon Multichrome Liquid Eyeshadows go for $12 a piece, so that is really expensive, especially where Moira is concerned. However, if these are good, I mean, it's going to be like, it's going to be mind-blowing, right? So I picked up 2 different shades. I picked up Helios, and then I also picked up the shade Sea Star, and I have the shade Helios on my eyes today. Again, I know my camera is not going to do it justice, and like I said, I wanted to love these so very much. I just don't know. I don't know what it is about these. They're beautiful. They're beautiful. There is nothing wrong with them by any means. Like they're stunning. They're beautiful. They're just not quite as impactful as I was hoping they would be. They're very sheer. Again, we're seeing that same kind of vibe throughout all of their most recent releases. Everything is more of a topper. Everything is very sheer. It's very glittery, very sparkly, very shifty, but very sheer. There's not a ton of base pigment there at all, and the same applies to these liquid eyeshadows. Now, this one is so beautiful. This one has a shift from like gold to green to copper to like, it's beautiful. It's stunning. It's a gorgeous shade. I don't know if you guys can see it glowing, literally glowing on the back of my hand. It's beautiful. Now, I did find that these were just a little bit dry, so I had to go in and I had to add just a drop or 2 of Duraline, just loosen it up just a little bit. If you don't have Duraline, any kind of liquid mixing medium you have will work. If you get a liquid eyeshadow that's just a little bit dry, it's not quite liquid enough for you, just add a couple of drops of any kind of liquid mixing medium, and it'll loosen it up for you. So after I did that, I enjoyed working with it quite a bit more. I like the packaging. The packaging is beautiful. It comes in this octagonal, like super gorgeous, almost like heavyweight plastic packaging. Really beautiful. So again, this was the shade Helios, and then I also picked up the shade Sea Star. And this one has more of that like pink to green kind of like mermaid effect to it. And I really think that the shade Sea Star is a lot more impactful. The shift is a little bit more pronounced for sure. This one, I would say that the Helios is definitely more of a multi-chrome. You can see 3 distinct and separate colors in the shade Helios. But when it comes to the shade Sea Star, I really just see like a gold to green kind of shift there. I was hoping there was going to be a little bit of pink or something in there, but it's not. It's just kind of like gold to green, but it definitely is, I don't know, it's more pigmented to me. Definitely has a little bit more of an impact on the eye. But again, it just, they have 1,000,001 of them. They've got a ton of different shades. I do think they're very, very pretty. I don't know, $12 a piece. It's still a pretty good price point for what you're getting. You're not getting a ton of product in here though. So there is that. Again, a little bit's going to go a pretty long way for you though. They're definitely more of a topper kind of thing though. There's no kind of like putting this all over your lid, using it for a cut crease, something like that. That's not going to happen. I do think that this would look beautiful over a deeper, darker eyeshadow. It looks beautiful just on its own, but over something deeper, I think that the shift would come out a lot better. But overall, I think it's a very, very nice liquid eyeshadow. Didn't really knock my socks off, but very, very pretty. And I think it's worth the $12 price point. And then I also picked up 3 shades of their Diamond Days liquid eyeshadows, and these ones are so beautiful, also more affordable. So the Diamond Days liquid eyeshadows go for $8.50 a piece, so a lot more affordable than the liquid multichromes, and I quite honestly think you get just about the same effect. So this is the shade Air Glow, and I think they look almost identical. I mean, you guys can see that. I even think that this one might be just a little bit more pigmented, and you're saving, what, $8.50, $9.50, $10.50, $11.50, what, $3.50? So I definitely think this is the better deal. They're beautiful. Has the same exact effect as the multichromes. I also like that these ones aren't as dry. They're definitely a looser kind of thing, so they go on and they're easier to use. I found that because the multi-chrome liquid eyeshadows were so dry, they picked up the eyeshadow underneath it, so I had to be really careful about how I applied it. However, I did not have that same problem with the Diamond Days liquid eyeshadows. I picked up the shade Stardom, and this one is just as beautiful. Y'all, I think the Diamond Days liquid eyeshadows is really where it's at. I think they're stunning. These ones and the Star Show Shadow Pots are definitely my very favorite products of the entire video. So like I said, this is the shade Stardom. This one is like a pinky purple kind of shift. Super, super beautiful. And then last but not least, I picked up the shade TBH, so To Be Honest. And this one, this one is just absolutely everything. Look at that. Look at that. Look how beautiful it is. This one is a really gorgeous, like it shifts from like green to teal with a little bit of like golden flecks in there as well. They're stunning. These are so, so beautiful. Again, has that topper kind of vibe to it. Not a ton of pigmentation in there. But I mean, when I compare the Diamond Days to the liquid multichromes, I think I'm here for the Diamond Days all day, every day. Now, the shifts are not quite as pronounced in the Diamond Days eyeshadows as the multichromes. So if you definitely are looking for that shift, if you're looking for that multichrome kind of feel, go for the Chameleon, what are these? The Space Chameleon liquid eyeshadows. They're beautiful. I'm not saying that they're not a good product, because they are. They're stunning. However, if you want to save a couple of dollars and you're still looking for that slightly shifty topper effect, I think the Diamond Days liquid eyeshadows are stunning. At $8.50, I think the price point is a little bit more affordable. I think you're getting almost exactly the same effect. I mean, you're getting 2 colors instead of 3, but y'all, I'll settle for 2 colors. Quite honestly, 2 is just as good as a 3 when it comes to this kind of stuff. I think it's so, so beautiful. Again, I like the consistency of the Diamond Days eyeshadows more. They're not quite as dry. They're not as thick, so they're easier to apply. I just think they're beautiful. I love them all. I love them all. I love all 3 of the Diamond Days eyeshadows that I picked out. I also love the Space Chameleon shades. Again, it just depends on what you're looking for and how much money you're willing to spend. All in all, there isn't a single product in today's video that I just disliked, just couldn't find anything good about. All of it's good. I think Moira knows what she's doing. They, whomever. I just think they know what they're doing when it comes to makeup. The releases that they have put forth into the world here recently are absolutely divine. Everything from the loose pigments to the liquid eyeshadows, it's all spectacular. The only thing that I would not recommend to you guys are the Lucent Cream shadows. Just wasn't impressed with these at all. I think they're expensive for what they are, and they're too difficult to work with. They're too hard to get from the pan to the eye. It just takes a ton of work. So I'm not really here for these. Other than that, I think everything is beautiful. I think that if you were looking at these ones, these are the Chromolite shadows. These are their newest release. I love these. These, I would say, are definitely worth every cent of the price point. They're stunning. I think my two favorite things in today's video, ooh, it's hard. It's hard to say because I really, really like these, but you guys know I love my Star Show Shadow Pots, and the Diamond Days liquid eyeshadow is really gorgeous as well. So those are definitely the top 3 contenders. The loose pigments would have been number 1 if that packaging wasn't so awful. I am so serious when I tell you I opened it and it was like a glitter bomb went off in my office. It was it was so bad. And with that, that is the end of this week's New Makeup Monday. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope it was helpful to you in some small way. As always, no filters, no fancy lighting. It is just me sitting in front of my camera playing with some really gorgeous, shifty, shimmery makeup. Hoping you guys are enjoying what I'm doing. If you did enjoy today's video, don't forget to give it a big old thumbs up before you leave. Guys, I love you so very much. As always, thank you so much for coming and hanging out with me today. And until next time, stay safe, take care of yourselves, and remember, you're important. Bye.